But one thing is for certain, Toni Braxton coming out and saying that the Bible was written by a racist white man has got a lot of people talking, but not enough as far as I'm concerned, because the fact is it's not true. But a lot of us have believed this information. I know I was one of them that believed this information, that King James was a white man and he was racist and he was homosexual. But the fact of the matter is, all of this information is false. So one fact that needs to be prevalent, that everybody should realize and recognize, is that King James never wrote one word of the Bible. He commissioned scholars, he commissioned people knowledgeable to translate it from the languages that it was originally in. He wanted a word by word translation. He wanted accuracy. People don't even know this. The automatically saying that King James wrote the Bible. No, he did not write the Bible. And this information can be found on any search engine. Check this out. So the search engine that I use is DuckDuckGo, which is through the Safari browser. Now, I typed in, who did King James get to commission to translate the Bible? I forgot get, but as you can see down at the bottom, it says, who did King James to commission to translate the Bible? So it understood what I was saying and came back with some information. So the search assistant came back with King James 1 commissioned 47 scholars and theologians to translate the Bible, specifically to create the King James Version. King James Version because he commissioned them to translate the Bible. He was the king during this time. He was the ruler. It was completed in 1611. This group included experts from both sides of the religious divide, working collaboratively to produce a universally accepted text. Universally means what? Everywhere. Not just America, not just Europe, not just Africa, not just Asia, not just Australia, but everywhere. Now, where it says commissioning the translation, it says in 1604, King James I of England commissioned a new translation of the Bible. He aimed to create a version that would be universally accepted and resolve religious tensions in his kingdom. Who started those religious tensions? We know that Constantine was a big problem and still is to this day because of the way some of these so-called Christians and so-called religious people act. This stuff started, well, actually it started at Antioch when they came up with the name Christian to make fun of the apostles and the disciples, the followers of Yeshua, and everybody who was trying to do what was right and preach and teach the good news to the world. So it says that King James initially appointed 54 scholars, but the final contributors were 47 scholars, and they're credited for the actual translation work. All of this in a search engine. This is common knowledge. So continuing to say that the Bible was created by or written by a racist white man means that you just want to be willfully ignorant. There is no excuse for that in this year of 2025, when this stuff is so easily accessible to get the bare bone facts. It even references what books you can go to and get all this information. Encyclopedia Britannica, Thomas Nelson's Bibles. Again, that comment that Toni Braxton made, there's no excuse for that. That, to me, is willful ignorance. It even gives the background of the scholars. The scholars were selected from various religious backgrounds, including both Anglicans and Puritans. This collaboration was significant as it brought together previously rival factions to work on a common project. And then it gives the translation process. The translation took place over 7 years, with scholars working in groups at different locations. And of course, the Old Testament was in Hebrew and the New Testament was in Greek. And King James wanted to ensure accuracy and familiarity for contemporary readers. He cared about the entire world knowing the proper translation of Yah's word.